USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. How can you free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders to not only streamline purchasing, but better support their teams so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more about the technology, insights, and support available at AmazonBusiness.com.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to another week of the podcast. I'm really excited about today's guest. He's very accomplished. He's a TEDx speaker. He's got the #2 TEDx Talk. He's a survival reality show winner. He's an author, and he is going to talk to us all about how influence is built not from books today, but from TEDx Talk. And he helps clients and listeners and viewers do that. He's from Washington. I'm really happy to have him. Terry, welcome.
Chris, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate what you're doing. You're helping people just grow, not just grow their business, but grow as an individual. It's really helping a lot of people. So thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And briefly chronicle your experiences and what you do now.
Wow. It's a complex background, but I think part of it is one that a lot of people can relate to. I had this idea in my head that I knew could help people. I really believed it could, but trying to get it out there was like next to impossible. And because people wouldn't listen. And so I write a book. Everybody says, you got to write a book. Then you'll be an expert. That's not true anymore because AI can write a book for you. Just having everybody's got a book and everybody can call it a #1 bestseller on Amazon, some subcategory, whatever. So it doesn't mean that much anymore. It's good, but you might have a great book. And for me, it didn't get out there. I wrote a book. It was great. Nobody's reading it. I think 4 people, but 2 of them were family and I gave them to them for free. Not that good. And I put together a coaching program on it. And crickets are chirping because, again, I wasn't the expert out there. And I did some speaking for those who would actually listen to me, which wasn't that many. But then, and I kept hearing, you got to do a TEDx talk. You got to do a TEDx talk. I've never even watched one. All right. I don't even know what they are. But I checked them out. Wow, that's the modern day equivalent of becoming the industry expert. So whether you've got a coaching program or a book that you want to get out there or a product you want to sell, you can't sell from the stage of a TEDx, but it makes you the expert. I'll give it a try. And the short story is I gave it a try. And I actually signed up for one of those programs out there and I spent thousands of dollars and didn't learn enough. So I figured out my own way. And within weeks, I booked up my own TEDx talk and I gave it. And then, Chris, I could not believe what happened because, it became the #2 new TEDx talk in the world. It was named one of the 30 most influential TEDx talks of this century. And then suddenly, everything changed. My book, by the grace of God, credit's due, became the #1 best-selling book on Wall Street Journal. #1 best-selling book on Amazon, not just subcategory, all of. #1 best-selling book on Barnes & Noble. Getting on podcasts became really easy. Paid speaking gigs. My speaker fee is now $20,000 an hour. And coaching, not a problem. And I'd love to pretend I'm that cool, but I'm not. But the thing about a TEDx talk is it makes you the expert because suddenly you're not just another person with another idea. You have a unique idea, unique perspective that was good enough to get on a TEDx stage. And now I've got footage to help me in my speaking and everything else. So it really turned everything around. So now my passion is helping other people know more about what these TEDx things are. And I'm not an official TEDx guy. I'm not with their program. I'm just very passionate about it, but helping them, if they want to become the industry expert, how do they go about it? So that's why I'm out preaching to the world everywhere I can to help people like me who were stranded going, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this TEDx phenomenon is really interesting because it went from TED and you had to be like a celebrity or very influential. And then they had these satellite TEDx and now they're almost everywhere. Talk about how difficult it is to land a TEDx talk today, because I hear a lot of objections, like people are saying that you can have the best TEDx talk, but if you don't know people, and they like the selection criteria is you have to know the event organizer. Talk about that.
Okay. Yes, we will. What I want to do to help out your audience is I want to give them hints that they can put to work by themselves. But then I'm also going to give them a tool that they can use for free. And of course, I've got a program if they want to check into it. But let's tell you what you need. Okay. First of all, it can help if it's who you know. But so how do you get to know those people? Let me tell you what I did. The bottom line is, okay, they're going to look for community leaders in your community who do you know that would be great? So how do you become that person? Speak. Put your idea into a talk and speak for free at Rotary clubs, at the local chamber, Lions Club. All these people are looking for speakers. So when they get that email, they go, wait, I know a person, and that person's you. Now, that's still going to be rare. That's still going to take some time. It's still worth doing. And that's one of the things I train how to do in my course. But here's the deal. If you're going to be applying to these things, do not just apply to one, because I can also tell you it's not just who you know. They are looking for unique ideas that are worth sharing. Okay. You apply to as many as you can, but you've got to have a title that's going to catch their attention. First of all, it's got to be unique. It can't be like, you can achieve your dreams. No. One of my clients is actually Larry Namer. He's the founder of E-Entertainment TV, billionaire. He's one of my clients. And his thing was he called off script. He came from Brooklyn cable layer underneath the ground in Brooklyn to founding this E-Entertainment TV. How? By going against the rules. So the title we worked for him was How to Get What You Want by Not Doing What They Want. And that's going to make an organizer go, whoa, wait, what? And so you have to have that catchy title. And then you've got to have a unique perspective on how you want to go about whatever it is, not something they've heard before. And it's got to hit some heartstrings. So that's how you get their attention to begin with. Does that help what you're asking, Chris?
As a contractor, I don't pay for materials I don't use. So why would I pay for stuff I don't need in my mobile plan? That's why the new MyBiz plan from Verizon Business is so perfect. Now I can choose exactly what I want, and I only pay for what I need.
Right now, with MyBiz plan, get our best price, as low as $25 a line. Visit Verizon.com/business to get started today. Price per month with 5+ lines. Includes autopay and paper-free billing and special intro offer discounts. Taxes, fees, economic adjustment charge, and terms apply. Offers end June 10th, 2025.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a lot different. It's not just like it's like a skill set that you can have that in order to land one. And it's like, you have to have these eye-catching, you have to be something new, novel. The other, what differentiates a TEDx talk from other like standard public speaking talks?
Yeah, thanks so much. And by the way, I want to go ahead and give somebody a URL right now, because if you're going, wow, but I don't know how to come up with that thing, I've got a tool for you for free. You can go and it's going to do it for you. Write down IdeaScore.ai, IdeaScore.ai. You can go there right now, put in your idea, and it's going to grade your idea and tell you if it's TED worthy or not. And based on a whole lot of data, this thing's good. It'll give you a score. It'll give you these topics. It'll give you these titles for free. It's cool. Okay. What differentiates from any speaking? And I can really speak to that because I've done a lot of speaking. And you go up on stage, you do your thing, fantastic, and it's over. It's done. You do a TEDx stage. And by the way, you alluded to this, and I appreciate that. TEDx means local. So TEDx Spokane, TEDx Copenhagen, whatever it is. You do that talk, and it's online potentially forever. It's creating your legacy, all right? And it's a whole lot different than, I opened up the manufacturing conference in Wisconsin not long ago as a keynote speaker. All right, nifty. Everybody goes, that's nice. No, I did a TEDx talk, TEDx Spokane. Wow, wait, you're a TEDx speaker? I need to go look at that. I've never had somebody say that from a manufacturing conference I spoke at. Everybody wants to watch your TEDx talk. And you've got professional video cameras that are taking your footage, usually B-roll, so audience reaction as well. It's good. So if you want to be a speaker, you need a speaker reel. Suddenly you've got one, a fantastic professionally made one that people from all over the world will watch. if you promote it right. And that's a whole different subject right there. It doesn't just happen automatically. But that is the difference between just a regular speech and doing a TEDx talk.
Interesting. So then talk about how you leverage your TEDx talk to get more speaking gigs, get on podcasts, land high ticket coaching clients, sell more books, and whatever end goal influence or thought leader has.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So suddenly you're an expert. You're not just another guy or just another gal, right? With a great idea. We've all got them, or some flashy whatever. There's a million of those out there. There is something rare about being a TEDx speaker for good reason. Thousands of people are trying for those coveted spots, right? You got to know how to get them. You got to know how to book them. You got to know how to nail it. We can talk about that later. But when you do that, you are a cut above. You are that expert. So even if I had somebody talking to me, they sell, tiny homes. And they're like, I want to get on there and sell my tiny homes. You can't do that. You can't sell from a TEDx stage. But what you do is you come up with your unique angle of how tiny homes helps the housing market. You can't afford, so it can help people who can't afford a house these days. You come up with that unique angle. And again, this AI that I told you about, IdeaScore.ai, will give you that angle. It's crazy. And now you go out there, you're the industry expert. So on your website, you have that you spoke as a TEDx speaker on this subject, and here's footage from you on stage. Suddenly you're a celebrity. It's crazy how powerful this is. Or if you want to be a coach and get coaching clients, they see you on the stage. Now you're an expert. Now you're a celebrity. You want to sell books, TEDx speaker on. Now you're a celebrity. Now you're an expert. It puts you in a whole different realm if you can book that spot. And of course, that's the challenge. They're very coveted, which is why they mean something.
Yeah. And it's interesting how you have this free tool to see if your idea is TEDx worthy, and you can use ChatGPT to entice or create enticing titles. And so one thing is your TEDx talking about why you didn't achieve that goal and discovering the ox cart technique. Talk about why it became the number 2 and went viral.
Thanks for asking that. And yeah, you watched it. Well done, man. I think it's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a good talk. I worked really hard on it. And again, this AI, and I need to make sure everybody understands, this isn't just Chat GPT, just go in there and ask it to give you a TED. No, I've spent days and days and days training this with, first of all, my expertise, but also all the expertise in the world. So this is a very specialized, and it's operating at a level higher than 99% of the Chat GPT out there. This isn't just Chat GPT. This is significant. So one reason, I gave a good talk, right? I worked really hard at it. I gave a good talk, which is all in my coaching stuff as well. But the next thing is you've got to market, because anybody that tells you just give a TEDx talk and it's going to go viral is lying to you. All right. You got to know how to market the thing as well. But that's why I built in this program, this AI that I've built out, will actually do all your marketing materials for you. It writes your media press releases for you. It writes all your social media stuff for you. It writes your emails for you. It writes all of that, again, based on the best techniques in existence to help you market it and then set up that plan, because you've got to utilize you don't have to have a huge social media following. That's another big mistake that people think. You don't have to have. Does it help? Sure, it does. But you can piggyback off of others, off of the other people, off of the press releases. And once you start doing that, then it helps things go viral and actually get your word out there and make you really become not just a local expert or a national expert, but a global expert.
Yeah. And so we have a few minutes remaining, and talk about just in general, you submit your pitch. Again, Terry's pitch process is more, we're just skimming the surface, but you get accepted. Then what's next? How do you prepare? They say that every minute you have to spend 2 hours of preparation for every minute, honing down that talk, all of your gestures, your mannerisms. Talk about the best way to prepare for for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give some more insights as well, because let me say, first of all, you're correct in the past. This AI that I built into the program does most of that for you. It's crazy. But let's say you don't want to use mine. Fantastic. Whatever. I want to give something at the end, just some inspiration to use your voice at the end before we shut down. But okay, here's how you want to set up your talk, folks. First of all, you need to start with an attention-getting high, fantastic, everything's going great. Bambi is out in the field eating clover with Bambi's mama. Everything's beautiful. And then, boom, Bambi's mother is shot, right? If you've ever watched that, you know what I'm saying. You start at a high, go down to a low, because that gets the attention of the audience. That really draws them in. So this is the emotional arc of a great speech, just like any great movie. That's why I give the Bambi reference, okay? Then you go down here, and then you build them back up with your process, your idea, your expertise, and you do it all through telling stories, just like I just did with Bambi. So that's the emotional arch that you want to build into the thing. You don't have to be a highly polished speaker. That's a bit of a misnomer. If you're too polished, sometimes they don't relate to you. But you do have to have a highly polished story. And that's where, again, this AI comes in there, or do it yourself if you want to do it. But again, I'll close with that. I just really want to inspire people to get their idea out there.
Yeah. And then, there's various ways people get over nerves, but what are your tips and tricks for event day, getting over nerves? Talk about that.
It's one of my favorite things in the world, Chris. It honestly is. I can get somebody over their fear of public speaking in 15 minutes. And that's not a boast. I've just done it all around the world. But here's the quick version of it. Get over yourself. Okay? Get over yourself. You can speak passionately. If you doubt that, have you ever had children? If you've had children, you have spoken passionately before, right? If you've had a relationship, odds are you've spoken passionately. And why could you do it then, but you're worried about up on stage? Because when you are speaking passionately to your children to get them to do something you wanted them to do, it's because you believed in your message. You didn't care how they were receiving it. You didn't care about forgetting your words or looking silly. They were going to do what you wanted them to do. It's that same feeling. When we go up on stage, it's all about, oh, I hope I don't screw up. I hope they'll think I'm an idiot. I'm going to forget the words. Get over yourself. It's not about you. It's about your message. If you're focused on your message enough, then you don't care about any of the rest of that. If you believe in your message, if you believe in what you're talking about, and you believe that the audience should be too, then it doesn't matter about how you look, feel, if your zipper's down, if you got a little bit of hair thing coming down or whatever. That doesn't matter, because you're going to get that point across. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And something that is really interesting, and this just is just a anecdote, is you've prepared like you've done, and then you get on that red carpet and the lights are shining and your mind goes blank. What do you do?
Okay. First of all, I love what that's a big one, right? I love what Bruce Lee says. Don't prepare till you get it right. Prepare till you can't get it wrong. Okay. And I've been speaking for a lot of years, but I can tell you the night before my own TEDx talk, I rented a hotel room nearby, and I'm just going over it over and over and over and over and over, throwing those punches, over and over it till I can't get it wrong, because then it's not about worrying. But that being said, you don't worry about the words, because Chris, the audience won't remember much of what you said at all. They're not going to remember barely a thing of what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel forever. So don't worry about the exact words. Have the stories implanted in your mind, your main points. Here's this story, here's this story, here's this, and just go with that. Don't worry about it from there. Does that help?
Yeah. So just to end it out, talk about, because you have an interesting background in how you can inspire, because you have this incredible journey growing up in difficult circumstances. Now you're a mentor. You're actually a reality survival show champion and your TEDx talk. So inspire people. And then you also wrote a book as well.
A few books. Yeah. Unbelievably. Yeah, I will give that real quick. So I was raised in literally the poorest city in the entire United States of America, a small Texas-Mexico border town by the name of McAllen. You've heard of it in the news. Everybody's heard of it these days, right? That's the place.
Nice.
And I love my hometown. I really do. I love the people. They're a fantastic place, but it can be a little rough growing up there sometimes with the gangs and the drugs. I was on the wrong end of an assault rifle in junior high in my own back alley. Wow. In high school, I interrupted the wrong guy doing the wrong thing, and who didn't want a 14-year-old witness. I'm staring down the barrel of a gun, wondering if my next breath is going to be my last breath. At 14, middle school. In high school, my father was killed. And before he died, one of the neighbors came up to him and said, I just want to make sure you understand something. Not a single one of your boys will ever grow up to be anything. So that's my background. And yeah, so I won a survival show now. I was a military officer and officer of the year and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, all this #1 best-selling book and #2 TED Talk in the world, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And people hear all those things and think, he's exceptional. No, I'm not. And you may feel you're not either. But listen, whether you feel you are or not, you've got an idea inside of you that can help people. You've got, I believe this about every single person listening on, you've got an idea inside of you that can help people. And despite your own background, your own self-doubts or excuses or fears or anything like that, you can get that idea out there. And more importantly, there's people out there that need to hear that idea, right? There's people out there praying for that piece of advice from you. So what I would tell your listeners is don't hold yourself back. Don't let your own self-doubts, misgivings, and all of that hold you from helping that person. Now, whether it's, first of all, TEDx is the biggest stage in the world. If you want to get out to the world, that's the place, right? But whether it's through my program or by yourself, if you can, or wherever, listen, don't let anything hold you back from getting that word out there. You can make a difference in the world. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care your circumstances. The worse circumstances, the better, because people don't want to hear from some silver-spooned imposter. They want to hear, right? They want to hear from somebody that's been in the trenches. They're bloody, they're muddy, they've got the scars. If that's you, even better. Use that to fuel your own passion to get out there and help people.
I love that. What a way, inspiring way to end the conversation. And for the audience, we'll direct them to your TEDx talk and to your website. Check out your books as well as your software. And thanks so much for coming on. I really enjoyed talking with you.
And again, Chris, thanks so much for what you're doing to help people out there, man. I really appreciate that because you're using your voice. It's on a podcast format, but you're using your voice to help people get their ideas out there, and I appreciate that. So thanks so much for what you're doing.